There are over 15 billion stolen passwords circulating right now. Statistically, some of them are yours. I am going to show you how to check for free in about 2 minutes without going anywhere near the actual dark web, and I will show you what to do if your email comes back with hits. Because the real danger is not the leak, it is what the attackers do next. Dark web monitoring is one of the most oversold products in security. It sounds like someone in a hoodie is personally watching a secret marketplace for your name. The truth is less cinematic, but way more useful. Stolen logins get collected, packaged, searched, resold, and reused. That means a password you used years ago can still matter today if you reused it anywhere else. First, I will explain what the dark web actually means in this context. Then I will do the check the way I would do it for myself: personal email, company domain, password manager reports, and browser reports. After that, I will show you the part most people miss: what an attacker does after they find one working login. That is the middle of the story, and it is where the damage happens. Then we will finish with the response playbook. No panic, no fake hacker theater, just the steps that reduce risk fast. When people say the dark web has your passwords, they usually do not mean one single place. They mean a messy supply chain. Some of it is hidden on markets. Some of it is on forums. Some of it is in Telegram channels. Some of it is just passed around in giant files. It is less Hollywood than you think. The basic path looks like this. A company gets breached. Usernames, emails, and password data get exposed. Those records get turned into combo lists. A combo list is exactly what it sounds like: email and password combinations. Then those lists get sold, traded, and merged with other lists and used in automated login attacks. That last step is called credential stuffing. Attackers take a leaked email and password pair and try it against other services: your bank, your Microsoft 365 account, your payroll portal, your shopping account, anything that might accept the same password. This is why an old breach still matters. If a fitness app you used in 2019 leaked a password and you reused that password on your email, the attacker does not care that the fitness app is old news. They care that the same key might open a better door. So here is the honest version. The dark web is not the main threat. Password reuse is the threat. The leak is just how the attackers learn which keys to try. That is the first mental shift. We are not checking because every breach means you are actively compromised right now. We are checking because every breach gives us a map of where reused passwords might still exist. Clean break here, because next we are going to do the actual check. Now let us check this safe way. The site I would start with is Have I Been Pwned? You do not need to visit a marketplace. You do not need to download a leaked database. You do not need to touch stolen data. You search your email address, and the site tells you whether that address appears in known breaches. When you do this, do not freak out if you see hits. I have been in breaches. Lots of security people have been in breaches. The point is not shame, the point is triage. A result means your email appeared in that breach. It does not automatically mean your current password is exposed. It does not automatically mean someone is inside your account today. It means you have a lead to investigate. Look at the breach name, look at the date, look at what data was exposed. If passwords were involved, that matters more. If the breach is old, it still matters if you reused that password. Next, if you own or manage a company domain, use the domain search. This is where it gets more useful for a business. Have I Been Pwned lets you verify that you control the domain, and then you can see exposed addresses across the organization. That is free, and it is one of the fastest ways to find risk hiding in plain sight. You are not asking employees to confess. You are not guessing who reused passwords. You're getting a list of company addresses that appear in known breaches. Then you can focus your response. After that, check your password manager. Bitwarden, 1Password, and browser password tools like Chrome can warn you about breached, weak, or reused passwords. This is why a password manager is not just storage. It becomes a map. If one password was reused in 5 places, the manager helps you find those 5 places. Without it, you're guessing from memory, and memory is terrible at security. One more thing. There is a nastier modern version of this problem called InfoStealer logs. That is malware that steals saved logins and sometimes session cookies from a device. This is why changing a password years ago may not answer every question. If a session cookie was stolen while you were logged in, the risk can look different from a normal old breach. I am keeping that brief on purpose. The practical takeaway is simple. Check breach records, check password manager warnings, check browser warnings, and if the account is important, treat suspicious device activity seriously. That is the safe version of dark web checking. No stolen files, no marketplaces, no drama. Just evidence you can act on. And now the twist. Finding a password is usually not the criminal's goal. It is the first step. Here is the part that changes how you look at leaked passwords. Attackers do not need to guess your password if they can buy it. And the value is not the password itself. The value is the next door it opens. A cheap login can become a mailbox. A mailbox can become an invoice thread. An invoice thread can become a payment change. That is the path from a low-cost credential to very expensive fraud. So when someone says, "My password was leaked but nothing happened," I hear something different. I hear, that key may still be sitting in a pile, waiting to be tried against the right door. The breach is not always the break-in. Sometimes it is the inventory list. That is why the response cannot be, "I changed that one account and moved on." The response has to follow the password wherever it was reused. Let's make this concrete. An attacker buys or finds a combo list. Your work email is in it with a password from an old service. They try that pair against Microsoft 365. If you reuse the password, and if multi-factor authentication is missing or weak, they may get in. If older authentication methods are still allowed, that can make the login path easier than it should be. Once inside the mailbox, they do not need to do anything loud. They search, they look for invoices, they look for vendors, they look for words like wire, payment, bank, overdue, and statement. Then they may create mailbox rules. A rule can hide replies, forward messages, or move security alerts out of sight. That is how a normal inbox becomes a quiet fraud machine. The attacker waits for a real invoice conversation, then jumps in right at the right moment with a payment change. Same thread, same tone, same customer, different bank details. That is the story leaders need to understand. The password leak is not just an account problem, it can become a money movement problem. And it often starts with something boring, a reused password from a breach nobody remembers. So if your check finds hits, the goal is not to clean up a report. The goal is to prevent the next step in that chain. That brings us to the playbook. Here's what to do if you find a hit. First, change that password anywhere it was reused, not just on the breach site, everywhere. This is the part people skip. If the same password was used on your email, bank, payroll, cloud storage, or admin account, those are the places that matter. A password manager makes this findable because you can search for the old password or look for reuse warnings. Second, turn on multi-factor authentication for the important account. Email first, banking next, work accounts next. Anything that can reset other passwords should be protected. Third, if this is a business email account, check mailbox rules. Look for forwarding rules, delete rules, archive rules, or anything you did not create. If an attacker touched the mailbox, rules are one of the places they may leave behind persistence. Fourth, set up ongoing alerts. Have I Been Pwned has notifications. Domain monitoring can tell you when a new exposure appears for addresses at your company. The point is simple. Checking once is a snapshot. Monitoring is the habit. Fifth, prioritize the top 5 reused passwords and rotate them by Friday. Do not try to boil the ocean. Start with the passwords that unlock the most important things. Now, the honest take on paid dark web monitoring. A lot of it is just the same free or widely available breach data wrapped in scarier fonts. An alert that says your email was found on the dark web is not magic. It may just mean your address appeared in a known breach. Paid monitoring becomes more useful when it is bundled with response. Tell me what was found, tell me what it means, tell me what to fix first. Help me verify that the risky accounts are protected. Alerts alone are not the product. Action is the product. So here's the promise delivered. You can check your personal email today. You can verify your company domain this week. You can use your password manager to find reuse, and if you find a hit, you now know the difference between panic and response. Panic says, the dark web has my password. Response says, where that password was reused, is MFA on, are the mailbox rules clean, and how do I get alerted next time? That is how you turn a scary report into a security win. Leaked credentials are one slice of your exposure. If you want the whole outside-in picture in about 30 seconds, run ThreatScope. It is free, and it's in the link below. Then check your email on Have They Been Pwned, and drop the number of breaches in the comments. No emails, just the number. If you want the next step, watch the password manager video on the screen now, because that is how you stop one leaked password from becoming 5 open doors. Thanks for watching. Don't forget to like and subscribe, and I'll see you on the next one.